On Friday night's virtual town hall meeting directed towards children during the COVID-19 pandemic proving to be very informative. Among the more than 80 confirmed COVID-19 cases in the Bahamas are 3 children, and according to Deputy Chief Medical Officer Dr. Delon Brennan, they are not to blame.
We know that none of those kids was the primary in the infectious disease coming to their doorstep. What happened is there were a set of adults that were out doing their own thing, and they eventually brought it home, and those adults then passed it on to the children, and the children then ended up being ill from the disease. Now, majority of them have very mild disease or are asymptomatic altogether, so they're walking around, they're very happy. But the problem is, we know that we need to change our focus because it isn't just about that individual child, it is about all of the children that they may come into contact with. So they have peers as well. So we had to make sure that people weren't going into play groups and spreading it to each other. They weren't inviting each other over for additional activities and then spreading it.
Well, towards the end of March, the Ministry of Education rolled out its virtual learning initiative with children unable to attend school for instruction. Director of Education Dr. Marcellus Taylor says it's hard to determine whether or not every student is getting the same level of education via the virtual platform, but they are working on introducing a stronger management platform.
Every time a student logs on, we know how much time they've spent on, which subjects they've gone to look at, and their teacher can use that to support them in ensuring that, well, I noticed that you didn't go to your math class. Why didn't you go to your math class? Okay, you need to make sure you make accountability. Right, and so we are shortly going to have a new platform that is going to roll out that will give us the ability to do that. As for the other things that are going on, we're in the process of collecting that information, but as we build this platform, we hope to fold all of those other activities into what we're doing on the centralized platform so that we could be able to account and also make sure that we're supporting the children in the best ways that we can.
Well, as a result of the COVID-19 orders, children have limited time outside and cannot interact with their friends in person. But for parents who are looking for ways to stimulate their child's mind, Chair of the National Child Protection Council, Dr. Nobile Carter-Lucky, says, or suggests rather, an early start towards becoming an entrepreneur.
We've seen how the tourism industry has been our sole focus. Now is our time to look at the younger generation, and let's see how we can inspire the younger babies to become involved in business opportunities. So I like to push even in terms of agriculture, in terms of letting them look at pottery making, and in terms of looking at candles, fishing. So now is a prime opportunity for us to look at ways to diversify our economy, starting with the little babies. Let's get the little babies interested in thinking how you're going to take care of yourself later in life.